Hey everyone, welcome to the recap of The Walking Dead universe. We are here live every week to discuss the latest episodes. You can catch our recaps at any time, available on most major podcast platforms. Get new and past episodes for free in the app of your choice, including YouTube. Today I am covering Fear the Walking Dead, kicking off the final episodes with episode 7. You'll notice we are not live tonight. It is just me, Tamara, your host, and I love a good TV show and a good book. So if you'd like to reach out to me, you can find me pretty much everywhere at the Recap Pods. And if you're into books, you can also find me at Shelf Addiction. So I am doing a solo show tonight. Lisa and I did try to do a live show on Monday night, but it was horrific, to say the least. So I am redoing it, and I'm going to try to go through everything in some kind of orderly fashion. I have my thoughts all organized. If you guys enjoy this solo show, please let me know. I'm thinking about doing some other TV shows or movies, and I'd love to know if you want to hear it. So before we get started, of course, I do want your participation in this conversation as well. So if you're listening on YouTube, hit me up in the comment section. You can comment on any platform or use the voicemail link in the show notes. So as always with our recaps, I jump around. No scene by scene breakdowns. Of course, huge spoiler alert for everything, every show in the TWD world through this past Sunday's episode. If you're cool with that, this is the place for you, and let's just jump into it. So this is the season 8B premiere. There were highs, there were mehs, and there were lows. Since I'm solo today, this will be a little bit more organized, and let's get started with the good. I like that we are focused in a new direction. We have a hotel community that we're looking at. We have a reinvention of Victor Strand, aka Anton. And I really liked those two aspects. I liked that Victor seemed to have a new personality on the top. He seemed like he really loves his family, and he wants to protect what he has, right, at all costs. And I'm okay with that because he's not the Victor of season 7. That was the worst version of Victor. And while, Victor is still Victor, obviously, he's going to lie, cheat, scheme, whatever, to make things work out in his best interest. I think this time his motivations are a little more pure, and I look forward to seeing what happens with this character as we finish out the season. Along with that, we got to meet his husband and his son, and I like those characters as well. They were a fun addition, and I hope they get a good amount of screen time. I also enjoyed the reunion between Madison and Victor. It was really cute. We got to see a ton of previews and stuff leading into this part of the season, and part of that was a clip of their reunion, and seeing them come together beforehand was really cute, and seeing that scene in full with the before and after really worked for me. I liked that Victor was so excited to see Madison. He was jarred. He was clearly shocked and emotional. A tear ran down his face. It was really sweet. And then he realized, oh snap, I'm different. You don't know me. He pushes her away and he's like, yeah, I don't know you. I'm sorry. You've got the wrong man. I'm not Victor Strand. I'm Anton. And you know how the story goes. I really did like that scene. I liked it a lot. And I even liked Madison's reaction to him as well. Although I really couldn't quite grasp why she was going in so hard on Victor not using his real name. I mean, she really blew his spot up. And yes, I'm assuming that she's been told what he was up to in season 7 by the other people that she's around, the core group, like Luciana or Daniel. But still, when she parted with him, she didn't have any problems with Victor. So, and that's the thing. In this kind of world, lots of people reinvent themselves, and I'm not anti, right? As long as you're not a villain, I'm not against you reinventing yourself, and I'm not against you learning a whole ass new language and calling yourself by a different name. I just did find it a little bit strange how Madison was just so insistent, like really trying to come in and just wreck whatever he has. And if she wants him to work with her, or if she thinks them teaming up would be a good idea, why? That's what I understand. Like, why wreck what he has going on? I don't quite get it. And I know I may not be remembering everything from the last time they were together on screen. I did not go back and rewatch the season where she supposedly, quote unquote, died. I didn't go back and rewatch any of Fear from the old days. But I feel like, they were on good terms. And she knows Victor, and she knows, he's a little slippery sucker. So I just don't understand why she was so like, he's lying to you. That's not his name. Like, who cares? I mean, I feel like that was just a little bit excessive for me. Yeah. So even though I like the reunion, I guess that would be one of my meh moments was Madison just like going in on Victor like that. And ironically, because that's the thing, like she has not exactly been a Girl Scout. She was a collector, as we are reminded throughout this episode. She went around kidnapping children and taking them to Padre. And yeah, she has a different point of view now, but does that mean she wants to be reminded every day of what she did? Does she go around telling people, yeah, I used to be a collector? I'm sure she doesn't. She wants people to focus on what she's doing now, and that's building a community, not being a collector. So why can't Victor start over? I'm just saying. Okay, so another meh for me was Troy. Yes, I understand he's a fan favorite, but I'm a fan and he's not my favorite. And I'm sure there are others like me who thought Troy was fine, but I was also fine with him being dead. I want to be vested and believe this outrage that he has toward Madison, but it kind of just fell a little bit flat for me. Like, yes, the woman hit you in the head with a hammer a couple of times, and I don't know how you survived, but you did. And how did you find out she was alive? You just happened to be listening, and then you hear her voice, and you can remember her voice from 7 years ago? Because she wasn't saying on the radio, hey, my name is Madison. Come on and meet me. That's not what she was saying on the radio. So I would like more detail, more in-depth dive into like the whys in the house that he first sought her out and then how he found her. So on the onset, I'm feeling meh about Troy. Yeah, I hope that I believe it, and that, I always say, just make it make sense, right? Make it make sense. And that's what I want it to be for Troy. I don't want it to be, he's the final villain, but it's like half baked, right? I want to believe why he's so dreadful. And part of that is he comes around saying, hey, guess what? At the end there, he tells Madison, I killed Alicia. He throws down Alicia's arm, and what do you know? All of a sudden, Madison is like outraged, and she wants revenge for him killing Alicia. But you know what, y'all? I don't believe that Alicia is dead. I don't believe it, and let me tell you why. So first off, Madison escapes a stadium full of walkers that is on fire. She's presumed dead, but she walks away. Apparently, she's good. She's just got some breathing problems. Troy, he gets bashed in the head with a hammer several times. And yet he looks pretty good. He's just got a different looking eye that's just, we know contact, but it doesn't even look bad. It doesn't look gruesome, or it just looks like, I don't know. It's very cosmetic and it looks good, right? It doesn't look bad, but he's fine. He's all there. No problem. So obviously I'm like all about the body now. Show me the body. Show me the Walker version of Alicia, or show me the body. If you can't do either one of those things, she's not dead. She's not dead. And last week, Lisa and I considered what it would be like for Madison and Alicia to have a reunion at the end of this season. And I personally, and Lisa too, we both wouldn't hate it. I would like it. I think it would be fun to end things how things started, right? And it would be kind of balance, full circle. And so for that reason, again, I just cannot believe that Alicia is dead. I cannot do it. I've got to believe that the actress that played Alicia had a couple of days to come and film a proper ending, a proper reunion uh, with Madison, right? With the character of Madison. But we'll see. But I guess that's going to be the main driving force of Madison to want to kill Troy, is that Troy killed Alicia, supposedly. So this season also, it starts with Madison being pursued by Troy's group. And I think it's interesting, but again, it's kind of mad because, again, make me believe it. So he got a group of people to go like hunt her down. And it seems like the catalyst is, hey, she was the collector. She stole children. So are the people that are searching for her parents of those children? Or are they just people that heard what she did and they are advocates for stolen children? And how dare you? If they're parents, then, Lisa mentioned on Monday, why aren't they getting their children back, right? Shouldn't that be the focus? Instead of hunting Madison, you should be trying to get your child back. And that's what she's trying to do, is reunite families. So if these people that are hunting her are parents, make this make sense. If they aren't parents, also make it make sense, because it seems like that is the tool that Troy is using to get these people to like hunt her down and drag her back, right? Meh, we'll see. Okay, now the bad, what I did not like. And I know it's nitpicking. It is, but just think about this for a minute. As Madison and Victor are running away, as they're getting shot at, the walkers are coming, they run into a church. And what do? They try to shut the door. The walkers start coming and they choose to run away from the door and start knocking over bookshelves. Like, that's going to work. In what world does that work? Okay. No world. And I'm like, they are smart enough. They've been in the apocalypse for so long. I don't understand why Madison didn't try to hold the door and he just go chopping limbs and then they slam the door. It seems as simple as that. Maybe that's why it would have been as much of a scene, but I have a hard time grasping these dumb reasons for doing things. Like, there's no way. These walkers are going to just climb over the bookshelves. And that's what was happening, right? They climbed over the bookshelves and almost got them before they were all gunned down by Troy and his crew, or Troy's crew, and they took them back to him. But they almost died, they almost died. And I guess in that moment, Victor had his chance to speak some real words to Madison, which was good. Maybe that was another method for doing it that way. But I just wish like we would be using our brains when we're trying to run and kill walkers and hide or defend or whatever we're doing. I just wish that scene was a little bit different. I'm like, you guys are not novices. You are pros. And that's how you deal with this. You deal with them by running away and knocking over some bookshelves. Get out of here. I also did not really care for how easily it seemed like the hotel that Victor is a part of went down. I'm like, you were here this whole time. Have you never, for the last 7 years, have you never had anyone try to come and take the hotel? Have you never come against someone who wants what you have? Yeah, you might not have had the most sophisticated or the most protected, yeah, you might not have had sentries with guns, but I'm sure at some point in time, somebody tried to come in there and make the hotel theirs. So I can't believe just because Madison has arrived, all of a sudden, the hotel can't defend itself and everyone in it, they're all prisoners. They just got just like that. It seemed way too simple, way too simplistic, and way too rushed. I think it should have been a lot more effort for Troy's group to get in there. And it didn't seem like it was a lot of them. Let's point that out. So Lisa did mention this on Monday. There weren't a lot of Troy's people on camera. We don't know how many he had, but I'd say less than 10 maybe. Okay, but then Daniel, Sherry, and June ambushed the hostage situation, and they're put your weapons down, blah blah blah. They come in, they cut Madison and Victor loose, and Victor's like, thanks brother, and he's like, you're not my brother. Oh my god. So yeah, I guess that whole thing seemed weird. So it's a gang of them, those three and their gang of people, and so they just come in and quickly take control of the hostage situation. Again, very, very easy. And I'm like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense as far as the skill level of all the people involved. I just don't understand how that happened. It seems so just too easy. Make them work for it. I mean, give us some suspense. It was like no one's going to die. No one's really fearful because they're about to get rescued. I don't know. I just didn't buy it. But I'm like, okay, I'm in this for the ride, right? I'm going to go along for the ride, and yeah, it's fine. So that's another kind of bad, kind of meh, bad kind of thing. Now this isn't good or bad or different, whatever. I just kind of want to talk about Daniel for a minute. And I think that Daniel seems fully sane again. He seems fine. He was having those problems in season 7. He really wasn't all there. He had his ups and downs where he would really lose time, lose where he was. He would even forget who he was talking to. He thought he was looking for his daughter at some point. And of course, Luciana did help him believe that, but he seemed batty. He seemed like he was missing some screws. But he only got it together when there was a mission to save his daughter. And here we are now. He seems totally sane. What happened in the last 7 years where you are fully recuperated? You are recovered. Again, that seems like, why did we do that last season? Why? I don't know. Again, I'm trying to not criticize it to death, but I am being critical because I'm like, did we forget what happened last season? Did we forget? Does it not count? I don't quite get it. So yeah, I guess we're going to see, hopefully we can address Daniel and Luciana's situation. I guess I'm thinking they're probably cool enough to work with each other, but he probably still holds a grudge, right? Probably. So, I just got finished kind of going off on season 7, and season 7 was like the worst to me. I could not stand that whole radiation bomb storyline. I did not really enjoy it that much. And if you listen to the podcast, you can tell neither Lisa or myself loved it. So I just think if you're going to put us through all that, let's connect the dots here. Let's close up the loops on the story and, get the plot tight. I just want to know what happened. So I hope we get some clarity on what's happened with all of these characters. We only have 5 more episodes, so that's a lot of ground to cover in 5 episodes, and then still leave us feeling satisfied at the end of the road. So I don't know. I can definitely tell that the theme is going to be everyone deserves a second chance. That is definitely the theme for this season. So will Troy get a second chance? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Luciana get a second chance? Victor got a second chance? Will he get one with the original crew? Obviously, Madison's getting a second chance. I don't know. All right. So, yeah, those are all my thoughts. Definitely, these episodes are short and succinct when it's only one person speaking. Again, let me know if you guys enjoy this type of episode because I may do some more shows. I'm weighing that option. So do let me know. Leave a comment. Send me an email, leave me a voicemail, whatever you like. And I'll catch you guys next week. Lisa and I will both be here again, back to our regular schedule on Monday, live 8 p.m. Eastern Time on YouTube. And feel free to join us live or listen the next day in the podcast feed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like this episode, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening so you don't miss any of our episodes. So I'm going to end things there. Thanks again for listening to the entire episode. I appreciate you for doing it, and I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye, guys.